I wasn't going to revisit this topic because one, I already talked about it on my channel. Two, I talked about it on someone else's channel on the live stream, and I'm going to talk about that in this video. And three, this thing was just too graphic for me to want to talk about again, but something came to my attention that made me want to discuss it. Now, for those of you who did not watch my live stream last Friday, or I don't know when this video is going to go up, but the one that I did on the 6th, I think that was the 6th, August the 6th. In the last couple of minutes, that was the last topic I discussed. There was this woman, if you want to call her that, who I found out her name is Bashira Tripp. And in Norfolk, Virginia, she got into a dispute with, I guess that was her husband. And the recording of a video started in a shopping center where you had her husband laid out on the ground and he's bleeding from his head after this woman ran him over. Now, if you look in this picture, that's the bumper from one of the vehicles, because mind you, she hit him with a car, ran him over, and ran into other vehicles in the process. So I don't know whose bumper she picked up and grabbed, but she picked up this guy's bumper and proceeded to hit him with it while he's laid out on the ground. She squatted over him and started saying, "I gave you 18 years," called him a B, spit on him multiple times. And no one really went over to check her at all. They just let her do what she did. Now, that was what y'all saw in the video. Now, I have to give a shout out to Jay Lethal because he did a live stream about this and he had brought me up onto his panel. And then we went and found the video, which was longer, because the one that y'all saw on my channel was the short version. The video was actually about 15 minutes, but we didn't watch the whole 15 minutes. We watched 6 minutes. And it just went from bad to worse. As a matter of fact, it started off worse. It didn't even start off bad, because what y'all didn't see, in case y'all didn't go, what I might do is I'll probably leave the link to this video down below in the comments. So you can, if you do want to go see what I'm about to describe to you, that's up to you. But I'm describing it to you now just in case you don't want to watch it. What happened after the video cut off from what y'all saw, you had people that came in, they put a sheet over him because they assumed he was dead. Mind you, this guy was not dead, because if you look in the video, you see the sheet move and there's not any wind blowing. He moved his arm or something. So the guy is still alive. They say he's in critical condition. Now that's the latest right there. She better hope that he doesn't die. But then you see her get on her phone and she has this very nonchalant look on her face. Like, me and Jay Lethal was trying to figure out who was she texting. She was just sitting there texting somebody with this look of on her face, like, yeah, I did it. Like, what you gonna do? Like, who's gonna check me? Like one of those unbothered faces. Then the cops finally came, and the people who was recording it, they were saying, look, that's her, that's the one who ran over this man, because I don't think they knew who the guy was. Also, by the way, there was kids there. They said, make sure to get that baby and get that. I kept hearing people saying, get that baby out of here. So there were kids around, or at least a toddler. And when the cops got there, when they was telling her that it was her, the one in the pink shirt, the cop walked smooth past her, as if he did not hear them yelling to him, saying that that was her, the woman who ran over this guy. And then after that, she had the nerve, the unmitigated gall, to prop her sloppy self up against the front hood of that police cruiser that just came up in, I think it was a truck, as if she was posing like she was in a damn hip hop video. Like, just sitting there like nothing happened. Like, she just did not run this man over. She didn't even try to leave. She didn't try to flee, nothing. She just stood there and watched as if she just collected a body, as if she collected a trophy. And then they finally put her in handcuffs and, put her in the cruiser. And they did it so casually, so calm. That's just the gist of it. But when I post the video down there, you can watch it for yourself if you choose to. But the reason why I'm coming on here is because I found out what this so-called woman was charged with. They only charged her with aggravated assault. That's it. Aggravated assault. After this woman just ran her husband over and then took a bumper and hit him with it and spit on him multiple times and cursed at him and yelled at him, all while being unconscious. anyone else would or should get attempted murder in the first degree. But I'm looking at this article where it says Tripp, age 34, has been charged with aggravated assault after witnesses claim she intentionally hit the victim with her car. The key words there are intentionally, which means first degree. And it should not be aggravated assault. Aggravated assault is maybe you just like you hitting somebody with some kind of an object with no intent to kill them. This woman used a vehicle. At the very least, she should have got attempted vehicular manslaughter. Not no damn aggravated assault. Because it's almost trying to make it seem like she's the victim. And I've been seeing comments where people saying you don't play with people's hearts like that. So basically now they're trying to shift it back to it being the man's fault. In typical formation, it's always the guy's fault. It's all, especially if the man is black. Because I have seen pictures of them together. But people saying, oh, well, you don't mess with people's hearts like that. Well, guess what? In life, there are people that's going to cheat on you. But they will not allow themselves to go to the extreme to try and kill you because you cheated on them. The only way I could have seen this being an excuse for what she did is if a rape was involved or some kind of child molestation. Then I would understand. But it just sounds to me like he allegedly stepped out on her. That's no grounds for you to try and kill the man. But for people trying to make excuses for her, y'all, like her, need your head examined. But you know what? I'm actually kind of glad that this did happen in Virginia, because Virginia, like I've told you before over and over again, they don't play games when it comes to crimes and everything like that. Now, granted, they need to take the aggravated assault off the table, because that's more than that, unless there's going to be way more charges that's going to come even higher than that. Because I refuse to believe that she can only be charged with aggravated assault. That's very low level compared to what she, if you look at what she did. That was attempted murder in the first degree with at least vehicular manslaughter, attempted vehicular manslaughter. That's why I say she better hope this man doesn't die. Because if he does, them aggravated assault charges are definitely going to be upgraded to murder 1. Especially since the witnesses say that she intentionally did it. You look at the picture. That's her picking up that bumper and preparing to slam it on this man's body. She already thinks he's dead. She already thinks he's dead. And when she got on her phone, and had her unbothered face on, that's what after the two ladies had put a sheet over his body. So that means she just felt like, oh, I killed this nigga today. Oh, well. Then when she leaned up against that police truck, when they came up and, was trying to see what was going on, she went and leaned up against it and was still on her phone with her, oh, well, unbothered face. Like, watch the video, at least up to the 6-minute mark. And you'll see at least to the part where she finally gets put in handcuffs, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. This is the element in the community that needs to be written of. If there was a way that we could flush this heifer out to the sea, we would have to make it happen somehow, some way. And what's crazy is what I just read from was posted 3 days ago. It is currently August the 10th. It'll probably be a couple more days before this video gets uploaded, and this will probably be your first time hearing about this. Whether it's hearing about this story or hearing this update with what she's been charged with, or even hearing this woman's name. But that just shows you that as long, their mainstream media goes again, not even caring about a black male body, but they want us to continuously say, and this is no slight to any black woman, but when a black woman gets done wrong, they always want us to jump up and say, you got to protect us. You got to fight for us. Meanwhile, this chick right here, tried to kill her husband and no one makes a sound. And we still say, arrest the terrorist that killed Breonna Taylor. Somebody help me out there, help me make it make sense. Like I said, this is no slight to Breonna Taylor or anyone else, but y'all get what I'm saying. Now, had the roles been reversed and it was the husband that did all of this, this would have been trending all over Twitter. This would have made the world news. This would have been all over the Shade Room. You know what? Speaking of the Shade Room, I went on to the Shade Room. And what was it, yesterday or the day before? Scroll through to see if I could find if they even posted one time about this story. And surprise, surprise, they did not post one thing about this story. So what does that tell you? You got to ask yourself one question. Who is the real unprotected class, or the unprotected group, or the unprotected, I would say, entity in this establishment? When you think about that, don't think too hard. I mean, the answer is pretty damn obvious. And no, that statement was not a gender divide. It was just a God honest statement.